What
Yeah.
what is this? What is this system?
The system is about weaponry. Like it comes from Chinese Wudang sword and Gun also from Wudang, a staff system, long pole. And what we bring now in the West is the applicable method of these antique systems. What means this? Like we basically going from the principles how to apply it, and not only have the beautiful forms, which is super and good and great, but also have the applications and the drills and the actual use of it in an actual situation.
Yeah, real situation.
And
Mostly real situation.
exactly. So and it's not only about the application either. You know,
It's a complete system. Like we have all different
Ja,
parts.
lacht schon. Das Schneid ist sowas von weg. Yeah, because if it would be only the applications, I can send the students somewhere. They can train also Kali, Eskrima, the great systems, if someone wants only learn how to fight with this. But what we teach is not only that, it's also the movement. It's the structure, body motion, how to move with the weapon, which is basically also the very first principle in Wudang sword. The most important skill is not how to handle the weapon, but how to handle the body with the weapon. So, and that is our main principle here, how we go into that, you know?
Is there a difference to Eskrima or Kali?
Yeah.
Like,
there are
is
big
it-
differences, but when we have the short sticks, of course it looks similar. When we move with them.
But from the underlying principles, it's
we have,
a different thing?
We have the 7 stars, and most Kali, what means 7 stars, I'm gonna tell you in a second. But most Kali practitioners, okay, now you must come here. You have two different, stick fighting systems out there.
Yeah.
It can be named Eskrima, Kali, Anis. It's all the same thing from the Philippines, basically. But some are blade-based and some are stick-based. So the blade-based Kali systems are more near to our system. What we do is basically out of Wudang sword. It's a blade-based system. So basically, if the guy is here and he attacks me, I'm not standing here and fight with his weapon, because that is not possible if I know what this blade can do to me. So in a stick-based system, I could do that. So he attacks me, I can stand here, tap, 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 tap. Yeah, I can do that here. But in a blade-based system, it's so fast. So basically, that would be my first motion, and not standing here and standing on my spot and doing my stuff here. 1 second. So the basic answer to that attack, what he just did. So when you do this one more time, it's this cutting off the first of the 7 stars, and that is where we start, where our thing method comes from. The phoenix flies to the 7 stars, and these 7 stars are head, shoulders, elbows, wrists, hip area, groin area, knee caps and behind the knees, and the ankles and Achilles. These are the 7 stars in Wudang sword. So the phoenix is the sword. So all what we do is we are not concerned about the weapon, we are concerned about these 7 stars. And these are our targets, and these are what we are looking to. And as I said, because you asked the difference between Kali and what we do, or Eskrima, so if the Kali system is blade-based, mostly they also use this kind of a system. They don't stand there and do 1000 techniques on the spot. They move. They have step group, and that is what we have too.
So when there's a blade-based system, it
Yes.
means that you take care that the blade does not hit you, because if it hits you once, maybe you're dead.
Exactly, and I also don't want contact blade to blade. I don't want much this. I don't want that.
Like in the movies.
No, yes, exactly. I don't want that, what you see in the movies. It looks good. But of course, we have the drills where we have contact, stick with stick, which simulates blade versus blade, but the idea behind that is always going to the 7 stars. Yeah, in the applications in a second I can show you what I mean with that. And stick fighting. So basically, stick fighting, they actually do what they say. The stick fighters, the attack comes, they fight the stick. The other side, they fight the stick, they fight the stick. But our thing is not called stick fighting, and I also don't want to call it like sword fighting, because I don't fight the sword. You understand? That's why we called it Northstar Weaponry. Northstar is the sign of the 7 stars, and these are the 7 stars.
Are there other
Yeah.
weapons involved, or only?
Yes,
The
long
okay.
pole, and there
Ah,
we
yeah, you
have
said that.
similar principles also. But today it's not the long pole, so that is basically the idea behind this weaponry and how this starts. And the step work what we have, we use from Wudang sword, like Chilinbu Chabu, or Chilungbu Chabu. Chilungbu is a very famous stance, yeah, riding on a dragon stance. That's the Chilungbu, yeah. And Chabu, basically this cross stance. And we combine this always in like shadow steps. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That is the very first beginning, which is similar to Kali, but the difference to Kali, they don't cross the legs. As one friend of mine and a student of mine told me once, they never cross the steps, like what we are actually doing. We are crossing the steps and then change direction, cross, change. And according to 2 of my friends who actually practice Kali, they never cross the steps. They are always like changing like this without crossing the steps. We have our reasons to actually cross the steps, and they have their reasons to not cross the steps. Weapon wise, there are also differences. Kali, blade based Kali, they're based on machete. How to say machete? Yeah,
Machete.
Yeah, machete, yeah. So basically they use more cuts,
Like a saber?
like a saber, like a Chinese Dao saber. But in Wudang sword, yes, we have cuts, but we have a lot of stabbing techniques, which are basically coming in the levels from 3 up. Yeah, in the very beginning levels, it's the easy cutting stuff. Yeah, it's the cutting stuff. Move, yes, like this, like this, like this. Yeah, and then I would intercept with the cutting, with the stabbing, when the level is there. But of course, you must know this. You can't basically, when the stuff is on the other side and it's about to come, you can't do that. Yeah, but on this side you can do that because you are really intercepting this arm with your step. Yeah, these are the principles you must know. And in Wudang system, there basically you have 5 main principles, and within these 5, it's all written down. You have these 13 principles of sword handling, and there it is all written down how you use the stabbing, how you use the cutting, how you use the painting, how you use the rise, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, enough for the introduction. We'll start training soon.